and then the Ogun State end. And in addition to that, we have the police personnel also on ground to ensure that adequate security is provided within this corridor.
Mr. Adedamola Kuti, Federal Controller, works for Lagos State. Thank you so much for your time.
For having me.
Nigerians at the Ilela Nigeria-Niger border are optimistic of better border operations at the end the current closure, which may initially slow down commercial activities. They spoke to Muhammad Nasir, expressing happiness with the new development.
This was the busy nature of Ilela Nigeria-Niger border, with thousands of people coming and going out of Nigeria. Ilela border is a major entry point into Nigeria from Niger Republic. The border has been beehive of activities prior to the presidential directive to close all federal government borders. Now, Ilela Nigeria border has become deserted. All the activities have now come to a halt due to effective enforcement of the presidential directives by a team of DSS sent from Abuja, men of the Nigerian Customs Service and other security operatives. Loaded heavy trucks that intend to leave Nigeria through the border are currently stranded at the border. This place I'm standing is no man's land. I'm neither in Nigeria nor Niger Republic. Behind me is a large queue of heavy trucks, but they made the border closed. Some of them spent 7 days, 5 days here, waiting.
I come from Yamai.
To where?
To Nigeria.
Pedestrians who manage to come through the border are subjected to thorough investigation before allowed into Nigeria. Those without valid traveling documents denied access.
I come from Niger. I work off my legs to cross for border Nigeria.
Information reliably gathered by NTA indicate that patrol teams comprising DSS and custom officers were dispatched into the bushes to check activities of those who might use motorcycles to smuggle rice through hazardous routes. At Ilela International Market, business activities were adversely affected as there is low turnout of people, particularly those that come from Niger Republic. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
Time for some messages. We will be back shortly.
Today, night don't reach for me to settle blessing. Blessing for you. When this girl first got this my shop called network. Now so on top of NTF4G phone. Now this girl could press. I provoke. I power no in short. Reach what time, eh? The ambulance make her tell her to make she mash her act. Come up from my shop. And later I come realize say this girl go snap am. Put her for inside internet. They take her to do adverts. Now I make customers that they come with my shop. Blessing, I want make you help me manage my shop now.
My name but I think Nami and Blessing start work the same time.
Now you and Blessing start work the same time. Blessing, you better start with a T-shirt for top of your 4G MTN phone.
Business makes sense on top super fast and reliable MTN 4G. Join MTN, make you enjoy double data.
The Vice-Chancellor, Bayero University, Kano, Professor Muhammad Yahuza Bello, welcomes His Excellency, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to the commissioning of the largest off-grid solar hybrid power project in Africa under Energizing Education Program, EEP, of the Federal Government Rural Electrification Agency. Details: solar infrastructure includes 10,680 solar panels, 3.5 megawatts total capacity of solar panels, 7.1 kilowatts total installed capacity of solar hybrid power plant, the largest hybrid solar power plant in Africa. This provides light for 47,697 students, 4,000 staff in residential, academic, administrative, and service buildings, 694 street lights on 11.4 kilometers of streets. There's been also training for generation, transmission, and distribution. Date: 3rd September 2019. Venue: BUK New Campus, Gwazo Road. Indeed, we are grateful. Registrar, Announcer.
You know, from day one, Globe makes life easier. They brought us past 2 billion unbelievable data packages and even an optic fiber cable to make sure we optimize. There are two things in our lives we depend on: the communication and information, voice and data. Whether you sell, buy, learn, teach, serve, or lead, it really comes down to those two things: voice or data. Today's world is all about you. You want what you want, how you want it, and Glow delivers. The freedom to use voice and data the way you like on every recharge. Easy.
Glow Yakata, the heavyweight voice and data plan. recharge from 100 Naira and get a minimum 500 Naira to call networks, plus 6 gigabytes of data to browse, chit-chat, WhatsApp and more. Dial *230# or buy your Glow SIM. Glow Unlimited.
Bayes University is a fully licensed university operating since 2011 and has grown to have 32 accredited programs in 6 faculties. This includes computer and applied sciences, management and social sciences, engineering, environmental sciences, law, and basic medical sciences. The university also offers postgraduate programs and foundation courses in a conducive learning environment with modern teaching facilities and high-quality national and international staff. Bayes University graduates have either progressed into respectable career positions or have obtained postgraduate degrees from different parts of the world with distinctions. Call or visit www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng. Bayes University, Abuja. Learn to live.
Igboro na sharp guy, Igboro na wise guy, Igboro they code everybody, Igboro they feel funky. Igboro na smart guy, anywhere they go he they shine eye. Igboro no they slago, Igboro is very connected. Igboro they judge everybody, and they know they trust anybody. Igboro they look everybody like say them is suspect. Nobody wanna trust nobody, but everybody.
Don't be like him. Free your mind with Airtel Smart Talk and enjoy calls to all networks at a flat rate of 11 kobo per second. 7 Naira fee on the first call of the day applies. Dial *315# to join.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Hello?
Hello, Kenny. You feel make 10 tops by this time next week? Sharp.
Yes, sir, but...
Okay, talk later.
You won't get money now.
Hurry up!
My pikin, how you doing?
Papa, I say make I remind you about that loan.
Loan, I beg.
Hello, Papa?
Your move.
Hello, sister of life. I won't remind you of that loan. Wait. Hello?
The number cannot be reached now.
Hello, Oga. Your clothes already.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for financing to grow your business? Here's good news. Development Bank of Nigeria now provides sustainable financing through commercial banks, microfinance banks, and other financial institutions with payment terms of up to 10 years. Please do remember, paying back your loan in good time will give you access to more loans.
Development Bank of Nigeria. Financing sustainable growth.
Glow and Maple. Get 5 times recharge with *555*PIN#.
Make I sell my market things first, eh? I will call you back. Oh.
Glow Unlimited.
Thank you for remaining with the NTA. The federal government is intensifying efforts towards ensuring that all data collection and registration establishments work together to avoid duplications. A collaborative meeting involving National Identity Management Commission, Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, and the Bureau of Public Service Reforms held in Abuja to explore possible areas for harmonization. Adebola Brookston Sunday has the report.
When you hear the cry of Eliana Ndukwe from a distance, you will think she's being injected by a nurse, but she's undergoing a biometric registration that will be used all through her lifetime as a form of identity wherever her data is required.
She has her identity anywhere she will stand tall. I'm a Nigerian and present it. And it's a good initiative by the government.
The initiative followed the National Policy Direction of National Identity Management Commission to harmonize and integrate a system which is anchored on a unique national identification number which connects all institutional databases under a single platform. The heads of National Identity Management Commission, Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, Bureau of Public Service Reforms are collaborating to implement the harmonization plan.
At the end of this ecosystem, we'll make sure that at birth,
a child is given the national identification number. When we are formulating policies, we formulate policy for the normal human beings.
The whole essence of visiting any organization is to see that there is improvement in the quality of service.
Another area of great importance is how to secure the data by thinking ahead of cyber criminals. With the unique national identification number now open to all ages, it is expected that the generation next, like Eliana Ndukwe, will not go through the rigorous process of multiple registration. Adebola Brooks-Lynn Sunday, NTA News.
Minister of Defense Bashir Magashi has charged troops of Sector 3 in Gubio, Borno State to be focused and ensure rapid clearance of the remnants of Boko Haram. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the minister gave the charge while on operational visit to Borno State.
The Minister of Defense Bashir Magashi is in the command and control base Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri. His mission is to appraise the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast. After a closed-door interaction with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, principal officers and commanders, the minister proceeded to Magumeri and Gubio, general area of responsibility in northern Borno, where he urged troops of Sector 3 not to be deterred.
Whatever you need to encourage you this job, I assure you the Nigerian government will be prepared ever before to do the kind of thing that will make you more motivated to do this job. Am I understood?
Socio-economic activities has resumed in Gubio town after a recent repel attack. More residents appealed for deployment of more troops to further secure the agrarian community. The minister later inspected ongoing rehabilitation of structures at the super camp in Chabang and visited recuperating troops at the medical center in Malari Cantonment. The visit of the minister to the theater command, Magumeri and Gubio General Area of Responsibility, is his first major military engagement as the new Minister of Defense. From the headquarters of Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri, Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian police force and other key players in the security sector are working in an implementable action plan to address insecurity in the Southwest geopolitical zone. This was the focus of discussions at the second Southwest Security Summit held in Ibadan. Ayomiku Ajibola reports.
The meeting, tagged Southwest Geopolitical Zone Security Summit, was convened by the Inspector General of Police to unveil a security agenda for the Southwest states.
A special operation is underway across the Southwest geopolitical zones. The operation will specifically address the threat of kidnapping and armed robbery on the highways in other localities.
Southwest governors, traditional rulers, including leaders of various socio-cultural groups in the region, stress the need to quickly find lasting solutions on the security challenges which is undermining the well-being of the people of the zone.
The government of the Southwest Geopolitical Zone will provide the enabling environment to operationalize the security initiatives being unveiled.
The number of men that we have is not sufficient to be able to take care of the entire country.
We shall all succeed if we join hands with the traditional rulers, because they too have traditional communications, traditional solutions to crime.
The summit is the second in the series being put together by the Nigeria Police Force across the geopolitical zone of the country. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
As peace returns to major parts of Borno State, the state government continues its attempt to provide affordable housing units for families displaced as a result of insurgency. State Governor Babagana Zulum in Abuja engaged an indigenous company during which a memorandum of understanding was signed to provide over 3,000 housing units. Doyin Dia reports.
With the successes recorded by the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration on the war against insurgency in the Northeast, there have been concerted efforts by the federal government and the affected state governments to rebuild the areas already liberated from the terrorist attacks. Borno State government is poised to restoring the glory of the state by taking some vital steps. One of such is this memorandum of understanding for a 3,200 units of two-bedroom apartments for internally displaced persons.
Scheme it has to be carried out mainly in Maiduguri, I think in Chibok, in Biu, Nigeria, while the rural one has to be carried out where there is densely population of the internally displaced persons.
The state government is also providing another 1,700 affordable housing units to some low-income earners at Jere, Biu, Maiduguri, the state capital.
Existing huge housing deficit in Borno State. The urban houses are meant to the civil servant, and then the function of the Borno State government now is to act as an intermediary and to act as facilitator.
I think the job that we all have is to work together to ensure that fellow Nigerians who are living in very unacceptable circumstances are allowed to have a home as quickly as possible.
The state governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, had earlier inspected an ongoing project in the Federal Capital Territory. The 7-story building with state-of-the-art facilities is to serve as alternative source of income to the state government and as well open up windows of investment opportunities for the state. The projects are jointly funded by the Federal Ministry of Finance, Borno State Government and private investor. In Abuja, Doing Dia, NT News.
For more reports from the Northeast Geopolitical Zone on the internally displaced persons, let's join Naomi in Maiduguri. Hello, Naomi.
Kudu and welcome to Maiduguri. Victims of traumatic experiences and physical abuse due to Boko Haram insurgency within the Northeast region will soon regain their normal health status as the federal government is committed to ensure they are fully rehabilitated. This followed the groundbreaking ceremony of physical rehabilitation facility at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. Abubakar Muhammad Musa reports.
The establishment of the physical rehabilitation facility at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital was necessitated by increased number of the target population of weapon wounded and IDPs in need of emergency surgical care. Substantial number of such victims of insurgency end up with amputations due to absence of a referral facility. Hence, the collaboration of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital and International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, to establish one in Borno State, being the epicenter of the insurgency, where the services will be made accessible to those in need within the region.
With the emphasis now on basic health care, I think there is no better time than now. We hope that this region will continue to, and this center will continue to lead in all its services and healthcare delivery in the country.
It will go a long way in giving hope to especially mostly the victims, especially our servicemen and women who have laid their lives for Nigeria.
We expect to kick off by August.
ICRC representative Marcus Bolder says 9 Nigerian students have been sponsored for a 3-year diploma course in prosthetics and orthotics who will be employed as clinicians at the rehabilitation center upon graduation. Borno State Health Commissioner Dr. Saliu Kwabura and some stakeholders acknowledged the overwhelming support being extended to internally displaced persons by the federal government. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Muhammad Musa, NTA News.
With the sustained rains and flooding, Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, is facing an imminent environmental catastrophe as thousands of people, including IDPs, have been rendered homeless. Yagum Subakar reports.
It has been over a decade since Maiduguri and many parts of Borno State experienced the magnitude of flooding. Almost all nook and crannies of Maiduguri metropolis are submerged by the rains, with the heavy downpours sustaining on a daily basis.
In a situation where there are distortions in the waterways, the level of flooding, the level of devastation is beyond imagination. I will still consult my governor
to declare state of emergency, particularly in environmental protection.
One of the worst affected areas is Jidari Polo, where NTA News gathered that over 4,000 IDPs who fled for safety from their various localities are now rendered homeless due to the flood. At Modusulumri and Alakaramti in Balegal Tumari, it was discovered that residents were building on waterways, which affects normal free flow of water, hence the destruction. The commissioner directed immediate intervention to mitigate the erosion caused by the flood. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
That is it from Maiduguri. Kudu is back to you in Abuja.
Thank you, Naomi. As residents of Oshogbo and other communities affected by a flood count their losses, Osun State Governor Gboyega Oyetola has appealed to the federal government to assist the state in combating the flood disasters. The governor stated these when he inspected some of the areas affected by the flood. Femi Afariogu reports.
It is the second time in 5 years that the state, and in particular Oshogbo, will experience flooding despite measures put in place by the immediate past administration to avert reoccurrence. Governor Oyetola, who defied the rain to assess the level of damage done by the floods in the state capital, assured residents that urgent steps are being taken to avert reoccurrence, and he also asked for federal government's intervention for a lasting solution.
With the support of the federal government, I believe we'll be able to tackle the flood. They sent some people to come and inspect all these areas that are prone to flood in our state. I believe within the next 1 or 2 weeks, they'll be able to do something to assist us.
However, he expressed worry over people's attitude to refuse disposal, especially in Water Channel, despite measures put in place by his government. He advised people staying close to waterways to relocate for safety of their lives. In Oshogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Time now for another break. We will be back.
A very tough guy who knocks out every opponent, but now he's been knocked down by malaria.
Amatem Soft Gel.
Amatem Soft Gel.
Amatem Soft Gel makes treating malaria easy.
Daddy, when I had malaria in school, they gave me Amatem Soft Gel. It's soft and easy to swallow.
Amatem Soft Gel is a game changer.
Is down only in round 1. Ayua, Amatem Force Soft Gel are good to control malaria for body.
Available for adults and children. Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
Ooh, that's the biggest cube I've ever seen.
Bigger is better.
Discover new Genomax, 25% bigger for a greater aroma and a richer taste.
Wow, that's big. Bigger is better.
New Genomax 5 gram seasoning cube. Chicken and spice flavors. Bigger is better.
Hey, you! And are you how they talk to? I sabi you now. It's in day your mind, Abi. The person with them go help us. Baba Toros and Shangalo. Oga Lekuva, Mr. Sabi. And you know if we carry last for this one.
A spear into the top corner.
We sabi say Peking will crawl before in waka. So don't look, no help anybody. No dolly, no. So go for it. Go for football. Go for Osirio on the Liga Martins live. Go for Go TV Max.
Imagine a luxury big breakfast on top of the world in Dubai.
To Dubai.
Collins! Hope you bought enough big milk.
Dubai, here we come!
To be one of the 20 lucky people going to enjoy a peak breakfast in Dubai, buy Peak Milk and collect your scratch card to redeem your instant win. Fill your details and return. Everyone's a winner. So keep on buying your Peak Milk and keep winning. Valid while stocks last. Reach for your peak.
On Business News tonight, Muplang Dakok joins me now to bring you the latest from the business world. What's new, Muplang?
Hello, Kudu. You will find out soon.
All right.
We begin this way. September 2nd, which was the deadline for bank customers to return bad Naira notes, is here. And the Central Bank of Nigeria says customers of banks would not be charged any fee for returning mutilated Naira notes after this deadline. Director of Corporate Communications of the CBN, Isaac Okorafor, said at the expiry of the deadline, any bank bringing mutilated Naira notes to the CBN without sorting would pay a fee, while the customers are not going to pay for returning the mutilated notes. Okorafor said the fee to be paid by banks to the CBN was for sorting of Naira notes and was from their operating cost. As Nigeria, like other countries on the African continent, await the Free Trade Area Agreement AfCFTA, Director General of the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, SMEDAN, Diko Umar Rada, says more attention should be paid to developing the micro, small and medium businesses in Nigeria to enable them meet up the competitiveness that awaits them when the free trade begins next year.
I think we also need to double up our effort so that we can improve the life and the quality of the product of these entrepreneurs by way of enhancing the quality of their product, enhancing the packaging, and then the operation, and also to escalate and increase their production. And then we are calling on other Nigerian private organizations to put their hands so that they can lift the macro, small and medium businesses.
Meanwhile, the equities market closed today, the first trading day in September, on a positive note after wrapping up volatile August. The NSE All Share Index appreciated by 0.14% to close at 27,565.09 points. Its year-to-date returns currently stands at minus 12.30%. Investors traded 111.5 million shares, valued at 1.56 billion naira. Market breadth closed positive as CCNN led 22 gainers as against 17 losers, topped by UACN at the end of the day's session. Market turnover, however, closed negative as Zenith Bank, UBA, and FBNH were the most active to boost market turnover. And that's it on Business News. Kudu.
Thank you, Moplang. Let's now take you to Lagos, where Michael Olale updates us on developments at the Center of Excellence. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Kudu, and welcome to Lagos. The Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria and United Bank of Africa to take over an Ikoyi Lagos property of a former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, over an alleged debt of 537.3 million naira. Abolore Ogbara has the court proceedings.
A former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, has asked a Federal High Court in Lagos to allow him pay the sum of 537.3 million naira debt he owed. AMCON, as on the 8th of August, through his counsel, Benson Reeds, approached the court to take possession of Duke's property situated at number 3 Temple Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. At the resume of proceedings, the respondent counsel informed Justice Nicholas Owebo that his client asked AMCON to have settled out of court and agreed to make payment of the debts within 24 hours. The counsels, however, agreed on terms for payment. Justice Owebo adjourned the case to the 11th of September for report of settlement. Meanwhile, the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has fixed September 10th to rule on the final forfeiture to the federal government of $40 million worth of jewelries seized from the home of former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Desiani Alison Madueke. EFCC counsel Rotimi Oyedepo stated that the commission has gathered evidences during investigation against the defendant and therefore urged the court to order permanent forfeiture of the jewelries. Justice Nicholas Owebo, however, adjourned hearing till September 10th for ruling in Lagos. Abolore Ogbara, NT News.
The Nigerian public servants have been challenged to rise up to assist the present administration in providing practical and realistic solutions to the challenges that is currently faced with. The Director General of the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, Cecilia Gaya, gave the charge at the closing ceremony of the third cycle in the series of the 2019 regular courses of the college in Lagos. Tunde Saiki reports.
It is my hope that your exposure to our program will come in handy as you go back to your respective organizations so that you can contribute your quota to the successful implementation of the economic recovery and growth plan of government.
The Director General acknowledged the benefits of getting more technical trainings in various fields to enhance efficient and effective service delivery in the public service. She noted that, as it is expected, the public service provides advisory support to the government and renders quality service to the public. To achieve this, she said, there is the need for regularly strengthening of the human capacity of the service to have analytical skills capable of responding promptly to macroeconomic and administrative issues, and by extension, providing practical solutions to the challenges that may arise. Some of the participants described the training they acquired as worthwhile, as it will help to impact positively on their organizations.
The lecturers are apt, dishing out as expected, and they impart us by practical teaching and theory.
Even though I have an idea of things to do with protocol, but I learned a number of things that will make me be more effective on my job.
We are going to put it in practice.
62 persons participated in the various regular courses on procurement and supply chain management, advanced public administration and management, general and protocol management courses. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
That's a contribution from Lagos. The news continues with Kudu in Abuja.
Thank you, Michael. Women from different parts of Africa are in Abuja for a meeting with the Federal Minister of Women Affairs on new strategies that can be evolved to facilitate peace in the continent. Nonso Damien Eti reports.
This is Leon Abella, originally from the People's Republic of Congo. She was born in Uganda, grew up as a refugee, married a Rwandese who is a survivor of genocide, and now lives in Kenya. These experiences earned her the title of the Face of Africa. Having gone through war, hunger and poverty, Leon is now joining other women from different parts of Africa to raise the flag for peace.
There are people who are most affected by conflicts, and there are people who are close to the people they live in society. So most of the time, women have information on what is going on in society.
You know, we have ideas of conflict prevention that we can bring here from Namibia, and we can borrow ideas from Kaduna to take somewhere else. How do you work with communities to own their peace?
The quest to see women live in peace and enjoy happy families, as well as play key roles in the center of governance, is the reason they are visiting Nigeria's Minister of Women Affairs.
Women, as peacemakers, we should be in the forefront of peace talks. And what we are doing is in the interest of the whole continent of Africa.
It is hoped that new policies and strategies will be evolved to uniformly address women issues across board. Momso Damien Ati, NTA News.
The National Council for Women's Society has commended the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, and the Director General of the Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Shegun Ronshawi, for their contributions to the campaign against moral decadence in Nigeria. In a statement, the national president of the NCWS, Gloria Larabashoda, says Nigerian women viewed as offensive the promotion of despicable conducts such as nudity and transgender activities, as recently demonstrated by some people. The NCWS applauded the Nigeria Police Force for not only exposing such conducts, but responding with the necessary civil and legal actions required to stem the ugly trend. The United Nations says it will continue to partner with Nigeria in critical areas of development. Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed, gave the assurance during a visit to the governor of Gombe State, Muhammadu Inua Yahya. Emmanuel Akila has the report.
An eye for Africa, Nigeria and Gombe State in attracting global development opportunities. Amina pointed out the machinery of the UN that would be used in driving home global support.
We will begin to look for investments in the economy, those that will look at infrastructure, that will create jobs, that will ensure it's inclusive, that we don't leave anyone behind, so that we can generate the revenues that can pay for basic services, health, education, water and sanitation.
The UN already has a development plan in the pipeline.
We will declare a decade of action from 2020 to 2030.
Governor Mahmoud Inoue Yahaya rolled out critical areas the state requires assistance from the global perspective on the platform of the UN.
From education to health to upliftment of the youth, especially women and our children, we are facing significant challenges. And with these scarce resources, especially for Gombe this time around,
Amina Muhammad was on a courtesy visit to Governor Mahmoud Inoue Yahaya while in her home state, in Gombe. Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Minister of Communications, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami, has tasked parastatals under the ministry to improve the level of their performances or face sanctions. Dr. Pantami also said that chief executives and directors in the ministry will henceforth be assessed on a monthly basis to gauge their performances. Joseph Johnson has the report.
The Minister of Communications, Isa Pantami, is the new sheriff in town, but he is not a new kid on the block. He exudes an aura of confidence as he reels out a program of action to a clearly captivated group of journalists in Abuja. While affirming the importance of diligence and due process in service delivery, the minister is hopeful that targets set would be achieved with a harmonious inter-agency collaboration.
The President, Muhammad Buhari, delivers his mandate. We are here to support him. Because of this, they are our friends, but we want to make sure we push them to make sure that each and every parastatal under the ministry deliver its own mandate. No excuse will be accepted as long as we know the failure has no basis.
To further get clarifications on issues regarding infrastructure and cybersecurity, NTA News had an exclusive interview with the minister where he expressed optimism that the next level Ministry of Communications, as he calls it, will ensure that no obstacle stands in the way of successful execution of its mandate.
We directed NCC they should make sure the issue of pre-registered SIM and unregistered are addressed immediately. We cannot continue to ignore and allow operators to continue selling pre-registered SIM cards, and they are being used every day to kidnap Nigerians or to make attacks. So this is one of the issues we want to make sure we focus on them and we approach them head on and we resolve them.
Civil servants and indeed Nigerians hope that the body language of the minister would eventually translate to better days ahead for the sector. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
When I take another short break, the news continues in a moment.
Activate your life, be who you want to be. Yeah, yeah. Time to get active. Yes, the time is now.
Start an active life with the power of vegetables and fruits. Chivita Active. Be active. Do more.
Hey, you! And are you how they talk to? I sabi you now. It's in your mind, Abi. The person with them go help us. Baba Torosa, Shangalo, Ogalekuva, Mr. Sabi. And you know if we carry last for this one.
A spear into the top corner.
We sabi say Peking will crawl before in waka. So don't look, no help anybody. No dolly, no. So go for it. Go for football. Go for Osirio on the Liga Marches live. Go for Go TV Max.
Report just reaching us says the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyama, has expressed dismay at the continuous burning and looting of Nigerian shops and premises in South Africa. The minister, in his official verified Twitter handle, says the federal government will take definitive measures to put a stop to what he describes as mindless act. The Nigeria's D Tigers lost to Argentina in their second match of the 2019 FIFA Men's World Cup holding in China. Olmide Eguntola has this and more on our sports update.
Some experts attributed Nigeria's The Tigers' 81-94 point loss to the Argentines to wrong technical and tactical approach adopted by the technical crew during game actions that created chances for the Argentines to make offensive rebounds.
Well, this is the best I've ever seen them play. Honestly, but we need more work.
They really prepared well. I don't really know what happened. They should just keep fighting, keep going. They shouldn't lose hope.
In continuation of his desire to discover and nurture future basketball stars to stardom, ex-international Olumide Oyedeji is adding values to the lives of children in Lagos through his annual basketball camp.
Try to develop them mentally, socially, intellectually, psychologically, in all aspects of life. You go beyond basketball, try to make them know that there's always life after sport.
In tennis, over 40 tennis players converged on the National Stadium, Lagos, to participate at the just concluded Mainland Tennis Club First Captain Tennis Championship. At the end of the championship, Ebube Agbasi and Ike Onwura defeated Tony Oshoke and Chike Ibe 2-1 to emerge champions.
I want to win this tournament, and I say, let's go for it. And we went for it. Here we are today.
I'm once the former Nigeria #1, and I have that initiative that I want to give back, and which way will I give back is through sport.
In another development, Bonju Baba of Togo retained his Super Light title belt at the 4th edition of Warrior Sport Championship held in Lagos. He was declared the winner when the challenger, Iswe Franklin, sustained an eye injury.
Je suis champion du WSC. He said that the WFC title is very important to him.
It's a good step for Warrior Sports Championship, and we believe the next edition will be better than this.
The current national kickboxing champion, Ibukun Okpaje, defeated Tajuddin Lawal via technical knockout, while a civilian, Eniola Busari, defeated Pamela Akintayo of the Nigerian Army, among other prominent fights of the night. Sports Update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu.
Have a need all of us. So we pray, may Allah grant him generative production.
For long-lasting relationship in Kaduna.